Hello and welcome to Tea Break Film Reviews. My name's Michelle and today I'm going to be reviewing the 2019 horror hit from Ari Aster, Midsommar, or Midsommar, whichever you prefer. You may still be on the fence about whether to watch this film, but I'm here to tell you it's an experience like no other, so hold your floral crown and hear me out. Midsommar centers on the character of Dani, who has lost her family and joins her idiot boyfriend and his friends on a trip to Sweden for the Midsommar festivities that end up being unexpectedly sinister, involving many drugs and many sacrifices. By the end, Dani has either entirely lost her mind or gained a family, or perhaps both. As she discovers the rituals, so do we, and it's in these rituals that the horror of the film lies. The way in which we experience this horror is what makes this film unlike anything else in its genre. But before I get to that, let me talk about the festival of Midsommar and the inspiration for this film. The actual Swedish Midsommar is a celebration of the coming of summer and the season of fertility. The connection with nature and the decoration with flowers and branches is common, and so is maple dancing, though more as a tradition of the past. Certainly, nowadays the emphasis is on heavy drinking and good food, not psychedelic drugs as in the film, and most certainly sacrificial rituals are not part of the celebrations. Ari Aster takes the name, country and basic purpose of the Midsommar festival and layers it with rituals copied from or inspired by pagan rituals found throughout European history, ranging from the blood eagles that the Vikings used to do to shame someone, to a love ritual found in medieval Italy. What is nice about this approach is that it allows for the subversion of expectations. Even someone well versed in the history of Midsommar will be pleasantly surprised by this film. Or shall I say, rather unpleasantly surprised. This brings me back to how we experience the horror in Midsommar, which I think can be perfectly summarized by the word visceral. When you experience something viscerally, you experience it deep down, as if it's a physical part of you. It's not an intellectual feeling, but a deeply emotional one. So much of this film is shown and not explained. You're not told how to feel about something the cult is doing when you're watching it. The reactions of the visitors are held back to allow enough time for you to feel for yourself. So when you see someone die in a horrific way for a reason you don't understand, you really feel it. When I watched this film in cinemas when it came out, there were some moments where people laughed at what was happening. There was laughing at some truly terrible things, but it just felt like a natural way to comprehend what was going on. Your truthful reaction to something could be a gasp, it could be silence, or it could be laughter. And that's what made this film so fascinating to watch, especially on first viewing, because you aren't prepared for what is about to happen. Unlike other horror films, this doesn't focus on jump scares or what lurks in the dark. In fact, having it set in Midsommar means that these are the longest and most sunny days of the year. Light brings clarity that shows everyone's mistakes and true personalities. So what better way to decide who's allowed in the cult and who gets the chop? When I watched it the first time, I remember my only disappointment being in its slow, segmented pace, which I see as featuring in many other people's reviews. But now I think I was being a little impatient. Ari Aster seems to subvert the genre yet again by deciding not to have a fast pace, by dissipating what would be a momentary thrill into a constant unease. And it's brilliant. One of the most effective examples of this is when Dani breaks down and cries and the women of the cult join her and cry with her. It's an incredibly strange moment, obviously, but it was also surprisingly calming. This onslaught of noise made me consider how I would feel in that situation, and though strange, it would definitely relieve a lot of frustration, just as it does with Dani. Speaking of Dani, Florence Pugh is absolutely captivating in the role. She has to play such a difficult character of someone wrought with grief, and she does so beautifully. I do have to commend all of the cast for handling such a strange situation and set of characters, especially the cult members, who were thoroughly convincing. Apart from the acting, what also helped deliver the visceral experience was the visual excitement created through the production design and cinematography. The bold colours and patterns, the rustic architecture in the rural landscape, and the juxtaposition of space throughout. An example of this is the lovemaking scene that was presented in a large room but made to feel suffocatingly small with the onslaught of noise and nakedness. Let's not forget the incredibly effective and sinister violins throughout the soundtrack as well. Certainly, without all of these elements, the story would have been less impactful. If you've made it this far, thank you. And also you might be asking, but did you actually enjoy Midsommar? In a yes or no situation, I would say no, because it's a tough watch, but that doesn't mean I wouldn't recommend it. It's a case of I would rather have experienced it than not, because of all those shocking moments that make Midsommar such a strangely worthwhile watch. Thank you for watching. Please like this video if you enjoyed it, subscribe and hit the bell icon if you want to see more videos, and comment with your thoughts on the topic. What films would you recommend, but maybe not watch again? This has been Tea Break Film Reviews. My name's Michelle, and I hope you have a great day.